My name is Macbeth, and I'm a Student Supports Manager with Communities and Schools of Chicago. Today we're going to do a quick activity that I like to do when I am thinking about my goals for the future, and it's called, well, I like to call it a goal web. For this activity, all you will need is a blank sheet of paper, a pen or a black marker, pencil, something to write with, and some markers, crayons, or some kind of coloring item. And that's all. Now, the goal web might remind you of an activity that you've done in an English class called a story web, where you write all your ideas down on paper and then you kind of create a plan and a structure to how you want to approach developing your story or developing your essay. So this is going to be similar to that, but this is all about your goals. This is a really, really great time to be thinking about your goals for the future right now, both short-term and long-term goals. Why? Well, we've been given a lot of free time, right? And one thing that's important about this time is that we don't waste it. That doesn't mean that we don't take time for ourselves, but taking time for ourselves is also planning out how we will achieve our goals for the future. This also might be a time where you notice that your goals for the futures might have shifted just based on circumstance. That is normal, and that's why this is a great activity to do at least once a year, but even a couple times a year when you just feel inspired to reconsider how you want to approach reaching your dreams in life. Before we get started, I'd love to share with you a quote from someone that I truly admire, and that's our former First Lady, Michelle Obama. She says, "You can't make decisions based on fear and the possibility of what might happen." To me, that means that we can't shorten our goals or not plan our goals because of our circumstances or the things that are going on around us. We still have to put our goals down on paper and create a strategic plan. And that plan might change, that plan might grow or look different based on what's happening and based on how we need to overcome the challenges around us, but we can't allow fear to keep us from reaching those goals. Let's get started. Start with your blank sheet of paper, and in the center of the paper, you'll write "My goals" and put a box around it. Now remember, we're coming up with 3 goals for this activity. You are always welcome to add more goals to your word web. So mark out your 3 branches, and you'll have 2 short-term goals and 1 long-term goal. Here is an example of some goals you may have for yourself this year. You'll notice that for my example goals, I included improve my grades, learn how to play a new instrument, and for my long-term goal, become a nurse. Maybe that's a different dream job. And again, these are just examples. You can use whatever you'd like. Next, you're going to use bullet points and list out all of the action steps that you can take in order to reach that goal. This will include steps that you're already taking, as well as things that you can add or will add in the future in order to reach that goal. You'll notice that for improve my grades, I've included finish assignments, speak with teachers, and study for tests and quizzes. Please add anything and everything that you think you need to do for each of these goals. I'll speed it up here so that you can just see an example of what I've included. The next thing you're going to do is create a key on the corner of your page. This is going to include 3 different marks: actions that you are currently taking, actions that you can add, and next steps. Now here's where you get to add some color. Grab your markers or colored pencils or whatever you're using and choose 3 different colors. They could be whatever colors you like. This is all for you. Each color will represent a different marker. Circle each marker from your key with one of the colors so that you know which color represents which mark. I have green for actions happening now, also known as actions I'm currently taking, blue for actions to add, and red for next steps. Again, feel free to use whatever colors you would like to use. So for the last part, I'm going to use my personal goal web. I've included apply to school, complete my license, and start my own business. So you're going to take your color for actions happening now or actions you're currently taking and circle the steps that you are currently taking to achieve that goal. Then you'll take your color for actions to add and circle all the action steps that you feel you have the space to add on to your plate to accomplish that goal. And with your third color for next steps, you're going to circle the steps that you'll take in the future. Maybe you're not ready right now, but you will be at some point. I'll speed it up to finish out my goal web. At this point, you should have your completed goal web. Now remember, we've only put 3 goals on this web. You may have a ton more. When I created one for myself in the past, I used a poster board size page and I allowed myself to add on as my goals changed, evolved, and more came up. You might also find that you have more than 4 or 5 steps or actions that you can take to help you reach that goal. Write them all down. Write them down as they come to you. You might not have all of them circled with different colors. Some of them just might be there right now, but that doesn't mean that you can't go back to it and see how you're incorporating that in or how they might be incorporated into the future in order to reach the goals that you set out for yourself. So hopefully that wasn't so much of a hard process and hopefully you enjoyed it. I always like doing this because it gives me a chance to see what I'm already working on so I can give myself some credit and kudos for that and how I can build on what I'm doing currently to really know that I'm moving toward those goals that I have. Sometimes you'll look back and be like, oh my God, I already did that and I didn't even realize it. How good does it feel to check things off of your own lists? That should feel empowering to you. So I hope this project feels empowering to you as well.